Yeah, definitely. It's pretty sore today. I walked out of the training room with like 3 or 4 bags of ice last night, and luckily it's starting to heal a little bit now.
Okay, okay. How long is the recovery time typically after an outing like that?
Yeah, normally the first day after is not like super bad, but normally the second day after my arm's like even worse. So if I'm feeling it today, it means tomorrow's going to be even way worse. Definitely way worse.
All right, looking forward to that, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to pull the curtain back just a little bit because
Okay.
most of us have never been in the position where we are on the mound pitching a game, and the coach comes out and you have one of the mound visits. When Coach Littlewood comes out to the mound and has a conversation with you, what is typically the message? What is there a common theme in what takes place on mound visits?
I guess it depends on how your outing's going so far, right? I guess if it's going not so good, there's some stuff said that you need to be done or needs to be done by you. But if you're doing pretty good, like I was doing all right last night, he just came out asking me how I was feeling. If he thinks I can get out of this inning, work out of the jam, and really like where do I think I can go from here?
I have these visions of a manager running out there and being like, "Hey, have you seen Black Panther?" Pretty good. Also, you should throw a curveball in this next pitch.
Yeah, are there any like light moments where it's just like has nothing to do with the game at all? He just wants to lighten the mood.
I would say that's definitely more of a catcher's standpoint. Dave Clausen's pretty good at it. Sometimes he came out last night and goes, "Hey, you're looking really good out on the mound today. You're looking great. You're just looking fantastic in that uniform. Just keep working it. You're doing great."
That's what we're getting at. That's what we wanted to know, Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, what a win last night when you think about the prospect of BYU baseball potentially starting 0-4 in conference play. I mean, that you were one game away from that, but now all of a sudden it kind of seems like you can relax as you go into the rest of the series because you beat a good Gonzaga team. So from your perspective, what did that win mean for your team?
I think it was definitely just a confidence booster, right? We all know we didn't play very well versus LMU the week before, and everybody kind of had maybe a little jitters and was like, "Oh, how's it going to be versus Gonzaga?" But I think getting that first one under our belt, now we can kind of just like not necessarily relax, but now we can do our thing, what we normally do, like what we always do, and just start to roll now. It's kind of the same thing that happened last year. Last year at LMU, we lost, I believe, 2 out of 3,
Yeah.
and then we came back, and that was when like what changed our season. Then we started to roll. We won every series from then on. So I think we can do that same thing this year.
I want to ask you about one of your teammates specifically, and it's a guy everybody loves, Brian Sue. We were talking about breakout athletes earlier in the show, and what he's doing certainly fits into that category. He is playing unbelievable. Had obviously the go-ahead and what turned out to be the game-winning 2-run home run last night. What impresses you about what Brian is doing this season?
I think Brian, obviously I'm good friends with Brian. I like him a lot. He's a good friend of mine. But Brian is really like, I would say pretty even keeled, which is, I think, helped him a lot out at the plate, right? One at bat might strike out or hit a ground ball, something that he missed, maybe missed a swing or something. But the next time come up and hit a 2-run home run like he did last night, right? And so I think that's one thing that's really good to him. He's always been a good hitter. He sees the ball well. And being even keeled, I think, has helped him like progress even further.
Well, and technically his home run gave you the win, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think you owe Brian Sue lunch or dinner or something.
Actually, my mom after the game was like, "What is Brian Sue's favorite cookies? We're gonna bake him all these cookies."
Yes, love to hear that. Okay, Gonzaga, let's rewind to last year. And I know this isn't a great memory, but you go to Gonzaga, you need one win to win the outright West Coast Conference regular season championship. You don't get it. They sweep you. How much was that in the back of your mind last night?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely like a little bit there, but not too much. I threw pretty well versus them there and at the conference tournament, and so for me, it was just to show them that I can dominate them again, and keep it rolling. And so I think that was a little bit back maybe in some people's mind, but for the most part, we have a lot of new guys, so I don't think too many people remember it as much.
You have solidified the Thursday night starter. You've pitched very well in that role. Seems like it's a nice fit for you. What's been working so well for you on the mound?
I'd say definitely like locating my fastball. That's something I've worked a lot in the off season and in the fall, is being able to locate my fastball. And when I can locate my fastball pretty well, my changeup and my slider and my curveball just come off of it, and it makes it a lot easier as well when you can spot a fastball.
Jordan Wood, pitcher for BYU Baseball, the winning pitcher against Gonzaga last night, with us on BYU Sports Nation in Studio B. What's your best pitch?
Oh, my best pitch? I don't know. I'm pretty even. I throw a pretty good, I feel like a located fastball is probably the best pitch in baseball. And off that, when I throw my changeup part, I have a pretty good changeup, I think, which helps me out a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to try and bat against you. There are levels of embarrassment, and then there's just humiliation.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we're not even going to go down that road as even a possibility that we're going to try and take swings off of him.
How does the mentality of a starting pitcher progress as you go through the program? Because right now it feels like you got the swagger, and it's probably really nerve-wracking when you start for the first time. So
Yeah.
walk us through that progression.
I would say definitely like when I first started, even last year, starting a couple games as well. I was a little bit more nervous and I'm like, I just want to do as good as I can, right? And now it's getting to a point where I feel like my word that I tell myself every time before I go out on the mound is attack. Attack every hitter. Don't be afraid of anybody. It doesn't matter who's hitting. If the guy's hitting 700, if he's hitting 100, right? Kind of keep that same mentality of attack and dominate him.
Well, I like that. Clear the mechanism.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to ask, this is the hard question portion of this interview. Are you a superstitious guy? If so, what are your superstitions? Do you have something you have to do? Or is talking about it part of the superstition and then it ruins it?
I wouldn't say I'm a too superstitious guy, honestly. I feel like I'm pretty easygoing. I just I don't wear the same socks or same underwear or anything like that. I'd say I'm pretty not superstitious, unfortunately.
Okay, just a little stitious, right? Jordan Wood with us. Before we have you sign our flag and give you some BYU Sports Nation karma, I want to ask you perhaps the hardest question. Okay? Even harder than superstitions. What's the greatest baseball movie of all time?
Oh, the greatest baseball movie of all time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of good ones. I think the one that I choose, that I grew up watching a lot of times, that I watched when I was a little kid was The Rookie.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I don't know if it's the best baseball movie of all time.
We were talking about this the other day.
Yes.
Literally, that was the one I grew up watching, and that one was one I idolized and looked up to, especially being kind of an older pitcher now. I can kind of
Are you
going to
be the 40-year-old in the major leagues, Jordan?
I don't know. We'll see.
Good stuff, man. Okay,